In the heart of rural Massachusetts, hidden by overgrown foliage and forgotten by time, lay the Ashwick Asylum. Built in the late 1800s, it was once a bustling institution, known for its progressive treatment of the mentally ill. However, plagued by dark rumors and unsettling incidents, it was abandoned in the early 20th century, leaving behind a shell of mysteries and whispered tales of the supernatural. The adventure begins with a group of four friends: Alex, a history enthusiast with a fascination for haunted places; Jamie, a skeptic always ready for a challenge; Casey, who loves photography and is always in search of the perfect shot; and Sam, the mediator of the group, always keeping everyone together. The friends, driven by curiosity and the thrill of exploration, decided to venture into Ashwick Asylum. One chilly October evening, just before Halloween, armed with flashlights, cameras, and a healthy dose of courage, they made their way through the tangled path leading to the asylum. The structure loomed ominously against the night sky, its broken windows like dark, watching eyes. The air was thick with a silence that seemed almost palpable, broken only by the crunch of leaves underfoot and the distant howl of the wind. As they stepped inside, the flashlight beams cut through the darkness, revealing peeling paint, collapsed hallways, and remnants of its past. The air was musty, filled with the scent of decay and forgotten memories. Alex shared tales of the asylum's history, speaking of patients who were said to still roam its halls, trapped in their eternal torment. The friends split up into pairs to explore, with Alex and Jamie heading towards the administrative offices, while Casey and Sam ventured towards the patient wards. As Casey aimed her camera into the dark, she captured shadows that seemed to flicker and move of their own accord. Meanwhile, Sam felt a cold chill that seemed to follow him. Despite the absence of any breeze, Alex and Jamie stumbled upon old patient records, the pages yellowed with age, telling tales of lives twisted by tragedy and misunderstanding. Jamie, ever the skeptic, laughed it off, but Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the asylum, sending them all rushing back to the entrance hall. Heartbeats racing, they found Casey holding a fallen sign, the cause of the noise. Yet, the fear in her eyes told a different story. She swore she saw a figure in the shadows, watching her. Deciding to stick together, they made their way to the basement, the source of the most disturbing tales. The air grew colder, the atmosphere heavier. As they descended, an inexplicable feeling of dread settled over them. The basement was a labyrinth of rooms and hallways, each turn revealing more darkness. It was there, in the depths of the asylum. They heard it, a soft, sorrowful sobbing echoing through the halls. The sound chilled them to the bone, a reminder of the pain and suffering that had once permeated these walls. They followed the sound, drawn to it by a mixture of fear and an unexplainable need to understand. The sobbing led them to a small room, where the temperature dropped so suddenly their breath became visible in the air. The room was empty, save for a single chair in the center. The crying had stopped, replaced by a silence so deep it felt like a weight upon their chests. Suddenly, the chair moved, scraping against the floor with no one touching it. Cameras and flashlights flickered wildly, capturing glimpses of shadows moving at the edge of their vision. The air was filled with whispers, too low to understand, but filled with an urgency that made their skin crawl. In that moment, they knew they were not alone. The stories of Ashwick Asylum were not just tales, they were warnings. Panic set in, and they fled, racing through the twisting hallways, guided by the desperate desire to see the light of day once more. Emerging into the night, they didn't stop running until they had put distance between themselves and the asylum. Panting and shaken, they looked back at the looming silhouette of Ashwick Asylum, its secrets hidden once more in the shadows. As they made their way back to the car, the adrenaline began to fade, replaced by a sense of awe and a shared, unspoken bond. They had ventured into the heart of darkness, and emerged, forever changed by the experience. The night at Ashwick Asylum would remain etched in their memories, a chilling adventure into the unknown that they would never forget.